Now, I discovered this guy and his music through Sean C's reaction video here on YouTube about Mac Miller's album, which is called Circles. So the good thing about it is that it made me know about his songs, but the bad thing about it is that I didn't know that it was gonna be his last album, so... Hello everyone, to my reaction video for Mac Miller's Swimming album. So first of all, I would just like to say a quick thank you to this guy right here for suggesting this album for me to react to. Oh, you big time. Now, I've already listened to a few of the songs here in this album through his Tiny Desk performance, which were very cool by the way. Now, as for my first impressions for the album cover as well as for the album title, which is called Swimming, now with a bit of hindsight for his posthumous album being named as Circles, you could say that these two albums are kind of like a part 1 and part 2 kind of thing. So it's kind of like a wordplay being like swimming and then circles, it's like swimming and circles.
My genius is, it's almost frightening.
So I don't know, maybe if we play like these two albums all together, then we make it loop back to the first song in this album, which is called Swimming. We're probably gonna end up listening to this cycle of like these songs between these two albums. And as for the album cover, it looks like he's in a coffin or something like that, and it looks like we're looking down at him from the ground up, so that's kind of like a nice play on our perspectives as well. And as for the window and the view that we see, it's like one that we usually see when we're on a plane and it's already flying, which is basically just the sky and the clouds. So, and from the looks of his feet, he's probably been walking barefoot for quite some time now. Gotta clean those feet, man. Gotta scrub those soles, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, he's looking slick with a pink bow and tie and all that stuff. I'm also wearing pink too, you know what I mean? But yeah, before we begin, please do not forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell down below so that you guys will be able to stay updated for my future videos. And if you guys would like me to react to anything else, such as music videos, music albums, songs, stuff like that, please feel free to comment it down below as well, and I'll try to do it for you. And yeah, let's get to it. Now the opening track is called Come Back to Earth. I mean, if you're looking like that, just stay away.
My regrets look just like Texas shooting sand.
Well, this is gonna hurt like a mother.
In my own way, this gray skies are drifting.
I mean, the dude's kinda cute now, the more that I see him. Ah yeah, never mind. Still creepy. And yeah, I mean, that was a pretty nice track. To be honest, I was kind of expecting something different. Something along the lines of like 808s and your typical trap stuff that is popular today. I mean, I'm such a huge sucker for like sad introspective songs. And then mix that with actual musical instruments. I think I've heard a piano in there and as well as an electric guitar or something. And yeah, it was short and sweet, didn't overstay its welcome. It's a pretty nice track for an intro song. And the message of this song is pretty straightforward in my opinion. So it's kind of like being isolated to these other people and he just wants to reconnect with those people from like his friends and peers and like strangers and all that stuff. So yeah, you could say it's kind of like a nice metaphor for the title Come Back to Earth as well. And yeah, overall that's a pretty nice track. I mean, what more can I say? He kind of reminds me of Mac Iris as well as Rex Orange County for some reason. But there you go. Now next up is called Hurt Feeling. Let's go have a listen.
I'm always saying I won't change, but I ain't the same. Everything's different. We was getting lifted, now we getting paid. Shame on it.
Now this song has a lo-fi hip-hop vibe to it, which in my opinion suits Mac Miller's voice pretty well. And I feel like this one is about his attitude when it comes to him obtaining success. So it's like, yeah, I got all this money, I got all these things, I'm making wonderful music, everybody loves me. And when he sees these other people who are basically trying to get on the same level as him, he's not being arrogant about it, but also at the same time he's kind of like having these boundaries as well and like, yeah, I know that I'm having a good life, but I worked pretty hard to get at this level, so I'm not here to hurt anyone's feelings, I'm just here to do my thing. So you guys should do it too. And yeah, this was pretty mellow in my opinion. I could probably listen to this when I'm doing my chores, washing the dishes, or when I'm driving or something like that. And yeah, I really like this one. Pretty chill, pretty mellow. We're going 2 for 2 so far. Now for this track, which is called What's the Use, I have already listened to it in their Tiny Desk performance, but I haven't been able to listen to this particular version of the song. So we're gonna go and listen to it and see which version we're gonna like better. I mean, Thundercat killed it with the bass line, so that's gonna be hard to beat, but I don't know.
Yeah, the time is ticking, come take a ride, get inside, this is highly different. I'm talking fly, got a pilot with it. I don't understand why you're doing the most.
Yeah, I like their Tiny Desk version than this one. I don't know, to me it just sounds like their Tiny Desk performance was just more sonically organic to me, in my opinion. And Thundercat's bass lines, I mean, it's pretty hard to beat. And as for this version of the song, the production of it sounds like it was not mixed properly. I mean, the beat was not fire or popping. Did I say that?
The next day.
And yeah, I mean, the beat was not that popping or lit as the cool kids would say. And as far as the song goes, I don't think that this one has any message behind it or something like that. I really feel like it's just being descriptive. It's just basically describing what it feels like to be high on drugs, pretty much. Just like what's happening when you're kind of like on that mental space. What it feels like to be on drugs, pretty much, with lines such as, I just want to fly, like just being high, I guess. But yeah, I don't really feel like this is something that you're going to be all introspective about. I feel like it's just a fun song that you just play with your friends to have a good time. Now, don't get me wrong, I really like this song, just not in this rendition. I really like the Tiny Desk performance one. So yeah, now next up is called Perfecto. Let's go listen to it.
It ain't perfect, but I don't mind. 'Cause on the surface, I look so.
So first of all, I would just like to say that it's pretty cool that he keeps the theme of the album, which is called Swimming, consistent, with the way that he uses metaphors such as him having an unstable life with him drowning, as well as his friends or his peers or something like that, wanting him or wishing him to be on a better place, which is kind of like the shore, like what it represents.
It ain't perfect, but I don't mind. Because it's worth it. Tell me you love me, spin me around. Pretty please pick me up in the air and don't put me down.
And as far as the production goes, the majority of the beat was pretty consistent. I mean, the only thing that was changing in the beginning was just the percussions, and the melody was always there, was always consistent. I mean, with the things that he's saying in this song, I mean, it's pretty understandable why it's like that. I mean, it was pretty simple as well, so you'd really be able to take notice on like what he's trying to say in this song. And as for the second half of this song, I mean, the beat did change, but even though that happened, the beat was still pretty simple in my opinion. It was just the strings. I feel like it's violin or something, like I don't really know. And yeah, just like the first half, I mean, I'm pretty sure the main intention of that was to be able to get the listeners to just take notice of like what he's trying to say, pretty much, which I think worked. I mean, it did work for me. So, and as for the message of this song, I feel like the main thing that it's trying to say is basically that he's having a lot of stress when it comes to the things that he wants to do in his life. I mean, even though he tries to convince himself that it's not perfect, but it doesn't need to be, so it's all fine like that. Pretty sure deep down inside him, he kind of feels like that's not really the way to go for him. So now he's out here overthinking about himself and thinking that maybe he could do it a little bit better than he did before and get it a little bit as close to perfection as possible. But at the same time, he also has this doubt inside his head that maybe what he's doing is just basically a waste of time, since time doesn't really care whether it's perfect or not. So why even bother, more or less? And yeah, I mean, at some point I feel like we've all been there, either from us trying to improve on our work all the time, or either not doing it because we want it to be perfect on the first try. But when it comes to my experience, just do it, man. Progress is always better than perfection. You won't be able to get it right every time that you do it, but you always get to be as close as perfection that you want it to be every time that you put in a bit of practice and hard work and all that stuff. So yeah, just do it, learn from your mistakes, move on to the next one. And in that way, time would be more used on better things. And yeah, basically as for the last line of the song, he's telling us that he has his love partner or something like that that keeps him grounded and keep him from being too much of a perfectionistic, pretty much. Which is a good thing of him. And I hope that you guys have that someone in your life as well. So yeah. Now this next track, which is called Self-Care, used to be my jam back when I was in high school. Now I used to listen to this song every day on repeat. Now since I've already listened to this song, I guess that we could just skip this one.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
The city on cold, yeah. It's feeling like you got enough to melt, yeah. Self-care, I'm treating me right. We're gonna be alright. I didn't know that Jid was a part of this song. I mean, I haven't heard him this entire time that I was listening to it. Maybe it's on the ad-libs or something. I mean, I just kept hearing Mac Miller. I didn't really hear his voice. But yeah. The first half of the song felt like it was just on a party, where everything just flies by and everything just happens fast. And then on the second part, it felt like it was just floating, like everything's on slow motion, stuff like that. It's just all spacey and vibey. There was always something that is happening to the beat. It was never static, which kept the listeners always having an open ear to like what's going to happen next on the song, sonic wise, and as well as the lyrics being introspective and reflective as well. So the listeners of the song is always going to have something to digest on, whether it's on the melodies of the track or in the lyrics that he's trying to say in this song. And as for the message of this song, I really feel like it's just trying to describe the process that he had when it comes to breaking through his drug addiction. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Mac Miller didn't keep it a secret that he had a drug problem in his life. I mean, it's a pretty amazing track overall. I mean, I haven't listened to the whole album yet, but I feel like this one gets the top spot so far. So yeah, now this next track is called Wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
I got a bone to pick like roses, roses. I ain't feeling broken no more. Bought a fish that got I put some money on forever.
There you go.
But I don't like to gamble on the weather.
Now for the verses section of this song, I don't really appreciate the production that was happening there. I mean, I don't know, I feel like Mac Miller's rapping doesn't really fit well with the beat that was happening. It felt so out of place. It felt like they were just contrasting each other and not in a good way. And as for the rapping that Mac Miller did there, I did not really feel like it really suited him at all, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, it was just so out of place. I feel like it was just experimenting on like the flows that he could do just to switch things up. And the only thing that got me through the song was the hooks, personally. Now in the hooks, it really reminded me of the sound that the album Circles had. Now even though this track was a 50-50 for me, I really felt like it really served its purpose in the long run. I mean, if this track was his attempt when it comes to like finding his own sound for that next album, I really felt like he did a great job on like integrating the hook section of the song and then kind of like extracting the very essence of that and then just implementing it on all of the tracks on the Circles album, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that the hook in this song was the stepping stone or like the breaking point for that sound to come up. So yeah, now for the next track, we got Ladders.
Yeah, waking up, I open up my eyes. Do you mind if I blow your mind?
Yeah, this song didn't make sense to me. I mean, just as the last song that we've listened to, which is called Wings, I really felt like this one is also kind of like a stepping point for the sound that was going to happen in the Circles album. But when it comes to the lyrics of this thing, I mean, I can't really wrap my head around it. I mean, I don't know, I feel like it was just rapping for the sake of rapping pretty much. And yeah, I mean, I just don't know what to make sense of this. I mean, if this is playing on my phone, I'd probably be listening to it just for it to end, if that's a thing. And yeah, as for the title being called Ladders, I don't really find the connection to the lyrics of the song. I mean, yeah, I just don't get it. Now this next track is called Small Worlds. Now we've already listened to the Tiny Desk version of this, but we're just gonna go and listen to it again, see which version we like better. So yeah.
They know that I so need my space. Don't wanna grow old, so I smoke just in case.
All I got is a little bit of space and time, drawing shits and...
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 I get it wrong. That's why I wrote this.
I mean, both versions of this song, I mean, this one and the Tiny Desk performance, I mean, both of them had their own good points. Each of them had their own nuances. I mean, this one kind of had a more somber tone, kind of like where he just recently learned his mistakes and as well as the lessons behind them. And as for the Tiny Desk version, I really felt like that one was coming from someone who's a bit more matured now, someone who's been able to spend some time on it and just been able to laugh it off now. And as for the message of this song, I really feel like it's just him showing to the world that he knows his mistakes and he admits it. But aside from that, he's also been able to take the next step, which is to forgive himself for those mistakes that he's made after he's learned from them. And personally, I have a long way to go when it comes to learning that next step.
So don't look at me.
So I guess I have something to learn from this guy. And yeah, I mean, the production was just amazing as well. Even though it's kind of more chill, more somber vibe to it. I mean, I really do like this, but that version was just way better in my opinion. Now, this next track is called Conversation Part 1. Gonna go listen to it.
Made a way for the top, now I'm in the spaceship,
So in this track Conversation, I don't know if he's talking to someone or to himself. I mean, that'd be pretty weird if he's talking to himself, right? Or is it? So it basically tells us what Mac Miller has gone through in order for him to get into the place where he once was. It's a lot of was's. So yeah, from that point on, he's basically telling us some advice that helped him get through where he is, as well as telling us his mistakes that he has done so that he'd be able to avoid them pretty much. Yeah, that and that he's being proud of the things that he have accomplished in his life, which is pretty understandable. I mean, it's Mac Miller. It's pretty sad though that we won't be able to get a conversation part 2.
They want it so bad. Well, we was fuck. Oh, I wanna feel just how you feel. Touch it one more time so I know you're.
Now I don't know if Mac Miller and Ariana Grande are still a thing here, but I really feel like the song is about her. I mean, I don't know, I'm not really into like the drama of artists. I mean, for the most part, I'm just here for their music. But yeah, I feel like this is just him reminiscing the experiences that he's had with her. I mean, if you don't really follow Mac Miller's life as well as Ariana Grande's and their relationship, I don't feel like you won't be able to enjoy it as much. And personally, I don't. So I don't know. Now this next track is called Jet Fuel. I'm gonna go listen to it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'ma be here for a while longer than I did expect to.
So for the entire album so far, it's pretty consistent with the themes such as the drug use, as well as the metaphors for swimming, such as him drowning in the water, treading in the water, stuff like that. And yeah, overall it's a pretty nice track. I mean, it's not something that I'd get hype about, but it's not something that I'd also hate when it starts playing on the radio or something like that. So yeah, it's pretty alright, I guess. Now this next track is called 2009. Again, I've already listened to this in their Tiny Desk performance. We're just gonna go listen to it anyway.
But I don't need to lie no more. Nowadays, all I do is shine, take a breath and ease my.
Now the track is pretty introspective and reflective as well, just like the first track, which is called Come Back to Earth in my opinion. And yeah, so basically Mac Miller's just telling us the things that he's learned from his past mistakes and like his past experiences pretty much. There are advices in there such as being able to become content with the things that you have, as well as being able to have the courage to take the risk as well as to just relax and just enjoy the things that you have now. So yeah, it's a pretty thoughtful track, I could say. In the Tiny Desk version, it was just much more heartfelt. I don't know if it's just the whole vibe of the setting. I mean, there's nothing much else to compare between those two. I mean, I don't know. For me, it's just pretty much the same. So for this last song, we have So It Goes. And yeah, let's check it out.
You could have the world in the palm of your hands, you still might drop it. And everybody want the hands been counting money, and it's hard to be the boss, but somebody gotta do it.
I don't think a lot of people understand what that really means, because even though you're the boss and you get like all the fame and the attention, like the responsibilities all on you, and like they're the ones that gonna hold you responsible and accountable for any mistakes that's gonna happen. So good luck with that. It's not like you really want to do it, it's just that no one's gotta do it, so someone has to do it, and it's gotta be you for some reason. So after this song finishes, which is called So It Goes, I'm just gonna go and see if it makes sense to link this to the very first part of the Circles album, which I think is called Good News or something, so just gonna try that out.
Well, this is what it looked like.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. And yeah, that was Mac Miller's album, which is called Swimming. So the very vibe that I got from it, for the most part, is that it felt jazzy in some way. I mean, I don't know, when it comes to like jazz and hip-hop, there's just something about it that when done right, creates this amazing sound. And in this album, there were really some hints here and there about the sound that was gonna happen on the Circles album by Mac Miller, which really created this amazing signature sound for Mac Miller in that album. And listening to this album really felt like I was catching up with an old friend that I haven't met for a really long time. So even though I was pretty late when it comes to listening to his music, it really still felt like I've really met and known him for a long time. I don't know if that makes sense, but overall I'm just really glad that I've been able to found him and his music, as well as his contribution to the music industry pretty much. I mean, if he's still here, I'm pretty sure he's just gonna keep making music and just keep improving on that and just keeps it evolving every time that he releases more albums. I mean, his songs were downright just relatable and just easy to connect to, even though there were some songs in here that just went over my head. And yeah, I mean, not to get all sappy, but I really appreciate your music, man. Hope you're in a better place somewhere. So yeah, that was Mac Miller's Swimming album. Thank you guys for reaching this far into the video. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed it so that I'll know. And please once again do not forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell down below so that you guys will be able to stay updated for my future videos. So if you guys want me to react to anything else, you can just comment it down below and I'll try to do it for you. If you want to check out my reaction videos, you can check out these ones right here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.